morning, students. Today I am going to send you my first video, which is related to the chapter Human Health and Disease. Before to start this chapter, I would like to clear some doubts which have been shared by you students. The notes which I have shared in the group, many of you people are studying that notes and regularly asking me doubts. The first video which I have prepared includes the common questions asked by different students. The first common doubt among many students was how to write scientific names. Although it is a very simple thing, but many of you are having doubt because I have marked several scientific names in that particular notes. First, let me tell you how to write the scientific names. Like, for example, we have studied a disease called pneumonia, which is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. So, the basic rule for scientific nomenclature is that the first alphabet of genus name must be written in capital form and the first letter of species name or specific name must be written in small form. Once again, the first alphabet of genetic name must be written in capitalized form and the first alphabet of specific name must be written in small form. The first rule. Second rule is that after writing the names, we have to underline both genetic name and scientific name. One more thing which we have to keep in mind is that genetic name and species name must be underlined separately. If you are going to underline both the genetic and specific name with a common line, it will also be a wrong format. In that notes, I have marked, and after my correction, the student has corrected it. That's why it has created some confusion among your students. This is the simplest way: genetic name capital, specific name first alphabet small. If we are writing by computer or if we are writing scientific name in typing form, in that case both genetic and specific name must be written in italics form. There is no need of underlining the names. In typing form, we have to simply write genetic and specific name in italics form. Another example, another confusion among some students was a term which is written as ELISA. It is nowadays most commonly used pathological test by which we can detect number of disease by a single test only. The full form of ELISA is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. We will discuss about this test in detail in classroom, but right now we have to know one basic concept about this test, which is based on antigen antibody interaction. Means the principle of this test is antigen antibody interaction. So first we have to know that what is antigen. Antigen simply means any foreign agent entering into our body. If any foreign agent enters in our body, that agent is called as antigen, and the response of our body against that particular antigen is called as antibody. For example, if antigen A has entered in our body, so the antibody produced against this antigen in our body will be A plus. It is simply an example. If antigen B has got entry in our body, it will produce antibody B plus and so on. What we do in this test, we don't have any technique to detect all the antigens. We use this test, and in this test we simply take a blood sample and we try to detect all the antibodies produced in our body. For example, if antibody A plus is produced in our body, it simply means that the A antigen has got entry in our body. Or if antibody B plus is produced in our body, it indicates that antigen B has got entry in our body. So by this test, if 10 different types of antibodies are present in our body, it means 10 different types of antigens have got entry in our body. So through this test, we can detect many diseases. It is most commonly used in AIDS detection, in cancer detection, and various other diseases. Another doubt of few students was that why polio is called as infant paralysis. Why polio is called as infant paralysis? Paralysis simply means that some particular organs of our body stop to work. Why they stop to work? Simply the virus which is responsible for this is called as polio virus, and that virus attacks nervous system of our body. And if nervous system is blocked, automatically the whole body or that particular organ will stop to work. It is called as infant paralysis because most of the cases of polio are seen in small children only. The major reason behind this is that small kids or small babies have a very weak immune system, and that's why this virus easily destroys the immune system. But it doesn't mean that it occurs only in kids. Some cases have been reported in adults. One more doubt was that few students have asked that how the size of mole or wart increases in cancer. How the size of mole or wart increases in cancer. Cancer word simply means uncontrolled growth of cell. Uncontrolled means if two cells are cancerous, they will be converted in 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32 and so on. If in normal cell of our body, there are various systems which keep on checking the uncontrolled growth of cell. But when a cell becomes cancerous, that particular system which we will study in this chapter only stops to work and cell starts to show uncontrolled growth. As far as the size of mole or wart is concerned, if cancer is present in our body or the cancer causing agents are present in our body, in that case the size increases at a very faster rate. Normally also the size of mole or wart keeps on increasing, but the speed of increasing is very low or very normal, but in this case the speed is very much high. It can be easily seen if any mole or what is present in our body. These are very some common doubts which have been asked by you students, which I have discussed in my first video. In next video I will carry on with a few more topics of this chapter. Thank you. Stay at home and keep safe.